I know who Svengoolie is.
Yeah, like it is like pretty popular.
Like he was like same thing as like Zachary or the Creep on the old Creature Features on Channel 5.
Mm-hmm.
He was the host, and he'd come in during the commercial breaks and do some shtick, and then they'd go back to the movie.
Yeah, but it's like something that I never knew that even existed until my uncle told us about it. I thought, wow, this is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So give it a look at it. So if you have like the Me TV, I think that's the channel.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, they play it every Saturday night, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I follow him on Facebook, so I know what movies that they're playing now.
Oh, yeah?
Because after they did the whole big Godzilla ones, I'm like,
they
all right,
do
I
the
gotta.
Godzilla. They
I was
play
like,
a lot of
I
shit.
gotta check this out real quick.
So if you love the old horror stuff or just like the regular movies from the 30s, 40s, whatever, give it a look. Okay, it's better than all the crappy movies that come out now.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
All right, before we continue this into TV, Dan Law would like me to mention Jellyfish Spilt Milk, a song that everybody has to hear just once.
Date rape.
Okay.
And Brad Ryder, a band that I also do enjoy, suggests The Birthday Massacre. I do love that band too.
Yes.
See, this is why we're doing recommendations.
There you
Woo!
go. There you go. We're sharing.
And this is probably going to go well beyond our usual time, so we hope you guys are ready for that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
Yeah, I'm done, yeah.
He's done.
Yeah.
All right.
TV series.
TV series.
Yep.
Okay.
I know where he's going to go with this.
2017 has gone down as the year in TV when shows have been trying to out-weird each other.
Yeah, actually.
Let me explain. It started earlier this year with Legion on FX, which, if you're not familiar with it, it is an X-Men spin-off. It was created by the guy who brought Fargo to the FX channel and made it into a series, which is also extremely weird. Stars the guy who played the Beast in the recent live-action Beauty and the Beast. The love interest was in the second season of Fargo, and Aubrey Plaza, Ms. April Ludgate from Parks and Recreation, plays a very strange part of this show, where you're not quite sure from moment to moment exactly what she's doing. So it's a show that regularly does right turns, and you just kind of have to hold on and go along. But I think it's brilliant. Plus, they've done musical numbers. In the very first episode, they did a Bollywood dance number set to an old French pop song by Charlotte Gainsbourg. Later on, Aubrey did this solo dance to a remixed Nina Simone song. It's one of the sexiest things I've ever seen. She's basically dancing around in a black leotard and one fishnet stocking. You have to see it to believe it. So, Noah Hawley, who was the EP on this and Farlow, basically walked in and said, "Hi FX, this is the weirdest show on TV right now." So, a month or two later, Starz, the cable channel, gets together with Neil Gaiman and gives us the first 6 episodes of American Gods. And basically said, you want weird? Bring it, motherfucker.
Oh my god.
Now, flash forward to the beginning of the summer. Over on Showtime, David Lynch decides to reboot his 80s classic Twin Peaks and walks in and says, "Hold my coffee." I'll tell you how weird. Now, Twin Peaks set serious levels of weirdness in the 80s.
Yeah, definitely.
They have upped the bar so far. The 8th episode, this is an 18-episode season to start off this reboot. The 8th episode, halfway through, they cut to a musical performance by the Nine Inch Nails. After which, the remainder of the show consists of the camera flying into the very first atomic bomb explosion in White Sands in 1945. And I'm talking about a 30-minute zoom into the middle of this nuclear mushroom cloud. And a lot of weird stuff happens as it zooms in. You're trying to grok this. I can tell that.
I am.
Look, if you have a chance, find it on whatever source you can. Even if you don't see the rest of the season, which is awful weird by itself. But that one show. I mean, I've showed people that episode out of context with the rest of the show. They're just like, "What the fuck did I just watch?"
That's exactly what I'm thinking right now.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
Well then.
So then, and I would be remiss if I did not mention that Orphan Black, which has been for the last 5 years my single favorite and most obsessed over TV show, is wrapping up its 5th and final season this year. We got 3 more episodes, and it's doing some really strange stuff, but it's got one of the best fan bases I've ever been in. I think it's going to be one of those shows like Firefly that 20 years from now, people are going to be rediscovering it, and they're going to be like, why the fuck didn't I watch this when it first came out? This is wonderful. This is amazing. So, catch up on home video or on demand. Definitely see if you can get into the mythology behind this show, basically about clones, and marvel at the technical acumen of the show, in which one actress has literally played like 12.5 characters, sometimes 2, 3, 4 of those characters in the same shot. You'll just be scratching your head and say, what voodoo is this that allows them to multiply this one actor? And she does all these different characters, and they're clones, so no big spoiler there. And they're all very different. They're obviously there's physical commonalities, but each one has a very distinct personality. Now, to make things even twistier, sometimes one clone will impersonate another clone. Now, you think it's simply, okay, now she just dons the makeup and the voice and everything of the other kind. No. She makes it clear that it's clone A impersonating clone B. So you can still see clone A working behind all this, and it's just a marvel.
It sounds like something you would really like.
It's a marvel, not just of at a technical level, but an acting level. Tatiana Maslany, who is the clone in question, she will be appearing with Jake Gyllenhaal later this year in a movie about the Boston Marathon bombing called Stronger. And she's done it she's been working since age 9. She's got like a big filmography of TV show and movies behind her, and she's just been amazing in everything. So this is absolutely one to check out and see, what genuine talent is.
It sounds like definitely something you would enjoy.
Woof! I went cross-eyed on that description. Oh my god, I've gone cross-eyed.
Yes. It is a good mind bender for sure.
Yay.
Danielle, television recommendations.
Don't look at me like that.
You know what show I'm going to bring up.
Do it.
Gilmore Girls.
Oh, yeah. I went dumb for a second. Like, wait, what?
Gilmore Girls is part of the WB network, and I will admit that I did not watch it when it was originally aired on WB network. It was before Buffy the Vampire Slayer on Tuesdays.
Yes.
And I was like, stupid show about a girl in high school and
From Gilmore.
I was like, not going to bother. Waited till that show was over, watched Buffy. There you go. About, I want to say maybe 2009? I want to say about 2009, I was home 2010. I was home with a broken foot from work and bored out of brain. Scrolling through the channels, and I see television. Girl who reads a lot of books. Who has books everywhere. In her room, in her closets, in dressers, under her bed. Lots of pop culture references. Mother who drinks a lot of coffee. Girl who has aspirations of going to Harvard. And just a lot of other. That show was Gilmore Girls. Got sucked in. Binge watched the whole thing that I could when it was on television. And it really is a television show that does resonate with a lot of things that have happened in my life. Like, as Veronica was saying with In This Moment, Gilmore Girls, you're watching like, yup, that happened. Yep, that happened. Oh, I dated a guy that was just like that. Yeah. So, Gilmore Girls ended in 2007, but it wasn't with the original writers. Apparently, for whatever particular reason, there was contract disputes and the whole nine. They wanted another season to finish it off, but it wasn't with the original writers, and you can tell the difference. You can look from seasons 1 through season 6, and then when season 7 happened, it was like, no, this isn't it. So us Gilmore Girl fans started a campaign, and Netflix picked it up. And Netflix back in November of this year did Gilmore Girls: A Year in the Life, and we got what we wanted. We got a nice little ending.
The ending that
we were supposed to get, and now it's great. There's another freaking cliffhanger, and now we don't know what's going on. So
be careful what you wish for.
Because of this, Gilmore Girls has sparked its own mystery box subscription, which I am a subscriber to, and
it became huge again.
Yep. With Stars Hollow Monthly, people are starting their own coffee companies with a Gilmore Girls slant and or theme. It seems to be that this little show that no one really followed is getting its just desserts, if you want to put it that way.
It really is.
Lauren Graham's career has resurfaced. She came out with her memoir that's aptly called Talk as Fast as I Can, because that's how it is. And if you watch between Lorelai and Rory, they talk as fast as this, and you don't understand what they're saying, and you have to stop and what. Yeah. And again, it is just a beautifully written show with a lot of quirkiness and a lot of pop culture references. A lot of people think that it's a chick show, but take that out of it. A lot of guys do watch. In fact, there's a podcast called Gilmore Guys, where it's two guys, and they go on and on and on about Gilmore Girls. So take that whole thing about how it's a chick show out of it and just give it a chance. It's on Netflix, all the entire seasons. It's something that's on in the background even when I'm home and just reading my books. Do not watch A Year in the Life before you watch all the other seasons, though. You have to watch all the other seasons first to completely understand what is going on in A Year in the Life. So if you go to Netflix, you're like, oh, Gilmore Girls: A Year in the Life. Don't watch that first. No. Watch everything else first so you get the idea, and then move into that.
Don't you just hate when you're such a devoted fan to a show, and then you could see when writers change?
Yeah.
We talk about that about Game of Thrones all the time.
Yeah, because the language in Game of Thrones changed.
And you're just like, fuck, get the old writer back. Like, you know it's the show, but it just, you could tell it loses a feel.
Season 7 was a good season, don't get me wrong, but just the last episode, Bon Voyage, where Rory goes and accepts a position with a journalism online magazine and following Barack Obama's campaign, it just didn't seem right.
It didn't fit with the character.
Didn't fit. It was like we knew that Rory was going to grow up and be a journalist. That's what she wanted to be. She wanted to be Christine Amanpour, but it just didn't feel right. Yeah. It was like, no, this isn't it. So
we get it. Yeah. We were just discussing something about a show like last week, where just a scene just didn't fit.
It didn't really fit where it belonged.
All right.
For me, I have two. Okay. I know Dan Law's going to like the first one that I'm going to mention and like that, because it was met with a lot of criticism before it even came out and everything like that, because it's based after a very well-loved and big franchise. I am going to recommend Lethal Weapon, the television series.
I heard it.
Actually, incredibly good show. Really, really good show. People were like, they were like, oh, Damon Wayans, comedy and everything like that, and it's not the movies, It really does capture the feel of the movies, but what you get, and which I'm actually happy to announce, they did get signed for season 2. They're returning very, very soon, as a matter of fact, they're returning for season 2. The actor that plays Martin Riggs, which is the Mel Gibson role, really got the voice down pat, because I think he's Australian or something like that. He actually has a very thick accent. But he's got of course, he's got the Riggs accent down packed and everything like that. And you get a little bit more of a backstory. They took a liberty or two here and there, but you get more of a backstory and everything like that. And it's a really good show. It's really, really good. Sucked me right in from episode 1. And again, I was one of those when the trailer first came out before I clicked play. I was like, oh god, here we go, Lethal Weapon. Let's see what they did with this. And then I watched the 2.5-minute trailer and I was like, this looks good. And Dan Law was with me on it and everything like that, while everybody else was criticizing. I watched it. I've been loving it and everything like that. So Lethal Weapon, I'd highly, highly recommend. good laughs, good actions, but a lot of heart too. There's a lot of heartfelt moments in it and everything like that. The second show I'm going to recommend